Okay, so if many of you are a lot like me, which is unmarried, single, you are in this, this just never-ending cycle of nonsense in the dating pool, and it's getting worse by the day. So one of the things that I always kind of ponder at when I hear what people want. And because I'm a heterosexual male looking at women, I listen to what women are requesting. And one of the big things is emotionally available. Now, I understand what that can mean, but it's kind of one of those things that for each person, emotionally available is going to mean something slightly different because it's kind of like speaking my love language. Well, if we don't speak it the same, or if we don't relay and reciprocate it the same, we have to have a translator to be able to learn each other's language and accept that okay, you're going to give me a back rub and I'm going to change the oil in the car. It's like how we show our affections or how we want to care for the other person. But emotionally available, honestly, I ask myself, are these people asking themselves, are they emotionally available for themselves? Because I can't imagine saying, like, I need somebody to be my emotional support system, because that has to start from within. And it's very similar to emotionally available. We can't control what other people are going to do. They are allowed to go through their feelings. They're allowed to have what they experience, and they're allowed to bring that as well as impart that into a relationship. So when you're talking about emotionally available, well, men and women have experience emotions different based off of how we were raised, how society and culture have prepared us to accept certain things. So emotionally available for between men, we're going to get that. And I don't mean homosexual men, just guys get that. Sometimes it's going to be a harder road, and there aren't going to be a lot of people here to save us. Whereas in society, especially our society, women are probably more protected and provided for. So their expectations is going to be different than men's. So when you say emotionally available, what emotion are you talking about? Are you talking about, I want you to speak my language, which is, for a guy, it would be strange for a guy to ask a girl just to be like, well, I need you to be more stoic. No, because that's his lane. That's really what he's supposed to be doing. Versus, I need you to be more available or more demonstrative, whatever it is. Well, that's not what he's used to, because that's not how he grew up or how societal expectations have been placed upon him. So nobody's wrong in this, but it's just a question. Are people asking for emotional availability based off of what they would do if they needed to, if they were called upon to be emotionally available? Or are they willing to step outside of themselves and understand that every person is different? So their gamut of emotions is going to be different. And you can have somebody emotionally available, but are you prepared to deal with what emotion it is they bring? So emotions can be a wide range of things. It can be joyous, it can be anger, it can be sorrow, it can be a lot of things. So what emotions are you asking people to be available? It's a vague statement, and I find it to be a little self-serving. I understand we all have standards, we all have things that we want for ourselves, that we see ourselves in a relationship, but are you emotionally available for yourself is the first question. And that means, are you being honest with yourself? In my estimation, in part. And I say that as someone who's spoken with many a young woman, middle-aged woman, older woman. And again, I'm sure we can find this with men as well, but I'm finding that a lot of times people aren't all that honest with themselves. I've found that people haven't been honest with their therapist. I've found people that haven't been honest within the confessions they make through their religious beliefs. So if you can't be honest with yourself, then you are not emotionally available for yourself. And therefore, what you're asking for somebody else to do is to cover for what you are lacking in your life. I think the opposite would be maybe a man asking a woman to have something to do with finances. Are you financially stable? It's not generally what nature would say we would ask of a woman to be a provider when it comes down to that. So if she's not, okay, that's fine. But if he doesn't have money, then yes, now he's asking her because generally he's leaning on her to do it. So you have to be honest with yourself. Emotionally available, I think, is it's turning into just like a phrase. I don't think people really understand it and thoroughly. Like you want somebody who's going to possibly sit and listen to you or help you maybe solve some things like that sort of emotion. But are you also going to ask them through that request to be emotionally available to step outside of what is normal and natural and comfortable for them? Because once you do that, now you have a different conversation. And somebody who's going to be uncomfortable is not going to make you comfortable, and you're going to feel their discomfort, and it goes back and forth. So sometimes we can't ask people to step outside just to fit a narrative and a box that we see as what's fitting for us. So it's good to have conversations. It's good to know where somebody's coming from. It's good to know a little bit about their backgrounds. And this is why just jumping into intimate relationships, physical relationships, sexual relationships can be dangerous if you are looking for something or looking for somebody that you are going to be able to get to know on that level. So sometimes you have to leave the physical out until you get to know the person. That way you know their true emotions, and it's not just driven by lust or the release of oxytocin. Excuse me. But I say all that to say happy hunting to everybody, and really, really discern. Use your circle. Have good people around you that you trust to vet. Talk openly about your relationships to these people so they might be able to see something that you don't while you are caught in this emotion that is maybe available to you at that moment. But sometimes those emotions can boil over. So you just have to be able to really, really think it through. But before you start asking of things, make sure you have asked that of yourself, and make sure you are doing that of yourself, and check in again with those people around you. Not just, hey, is this person okay for me to date, or what do you think? Hey, what do you think about me? Do you think I am ready to date? And listen to the people that are going to tell you something that sometimes you're not prepared to hear, or maybe you don't want to. The people that are just always going to north and south you, just always agree and just always continue to build you up. They may not be the best source of information or the best resource for your self growth and development. You really need to get around people who are going to have maybe one criticism and 2 compliments. 1 criticism, 3 compliments. Hey, you're still here, but X, Y, and Z. These are great traits. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you really have people that are emotionally available for you that you're not intimate with, your friends, your family, things like that, then they're going to be able to tell you. The only difference is they have the experience, or they have the longevity of knowing you a little bit longer than somebody you've just met. So also give that a thought as well before maybe comparing. Well, they do this. How come you? Well, because I just met you, and we have a different relationship. All relationships are going to be different. So it's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you folks are married out there. Congratulations. And I always tell my friends, it's joking, but not joking. If you can work it out, stay in your relationship. It's madness out here. Every day, the expectation changes, and it's just kind of it's kind of a sad place to be. So if you're really not knowing yourself, I know myself, I'm comfortable, so I can take it or leave it. But if you don't know yourself and you are trying to attach to something or somebody because of that, you really have to be careful. Don't let somebody pigeonhole you into something else outside of your emotional range. Like, we can always grow, but I don't think that it's fair to say I need you to be emotionally available. Available. Well, if you're, especially in a new relationship, available how? That's like being on retainer or something like that. You be there when I need you. Well, if we've established something that is monogamous, that's between us, and that's something that we are going to agree to build for and move forward, I think that goes without saying. But just emotionally available, yeah, don't put yourself on somebody's, Rolodex or their lifeline, because you never know what emotions they're going to need or what they're going to drain out of you. A lot of times people are just energy vampires, and they will suck that life out of you because you've made yourself available. So the same way you wouldn't be financially available, same way you wouldn't be always just physically available, really measure before you make yourself emotionally available. Guys, let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Your ace up the sleeve, your advice, comment, experience. And, it's a conversation worth having. And I'm sure maybe some of the ladies will see it differently. Maybe people in same-sex relationships will see it differently. But I think across the board, really measure before you invest your emotions, and then let them see what it is that they want as well, and let's see if it works out, and then you guys can move forward. So I hope this finds everybody in your place. Pursuit of beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. Peace, love, unity, solidarity, and as always, subscriptions and videos. So stick around.